All right. Thank you, Mr. Papa Pop, for that introduction. Let's get into this game. Kimchi Boys versus XYZ. How are you doing, Wes Rambo? Are you ready for
Hey,
this?
I'm pretty good, pretty good. I'm doing double duty right now, just contacting the players and making sure everything's ready. But we already got bans coming in, and
Yeah.
yeah, so Yumi going out for Kimchi Boys as well as Gangplank. There's a Kali on the side of XYZ. Man, this match is going to be so exciting. Just something about the bans coming in already is making me
Yeah.
hyped for this.
Yeah, they're exactly. These are kind of basically the two highest level teams. Obviously, there's one other undefeated team.
Yeah.
There's no three-way battle, so we don't get to
Yep.
watch them play at once. But
Yeah.
one team
Exactly.
will leave today no longer undefeated, and that's the exciting part as we start to see there's a bit of a question mark on who the best team in the league is. It might be the Kimchi Boys, but XYZ obviously want to contend for that title there. As we can see with the bans, Galio and Graves were then banned up next. So right now we're seeing a hover for Kimchi Boys onto the Varus. Last time we saw XYZ on the cast, they played a lot of that Tom Kench Senna bot lane. Now that was nerfed since the last time they were on here, so I don't think we'll see that again. But we did see a lot of really good synergy from that bot lane, so we'll see what they're gonna want to answer this Varus pick with.
Yeah, definitely. So that's going to be I am owner down there on the Varus, and definitely we've seen a lot of like really people taking advantage of Tom Kench going on, but
Mhm.
Varus pairs so nicely with a lot of different types of supports. Of course, with that versatility we've talked about,
Mhm.
Ezreal's a nice answer to the um the
Oh.
issues you can run into against Varus in draft.
Ezreal and Karma, a good Runeterra deck, by the way, coming out here for the bot lane for XYZ. So they're going to beat up with that. One other point to make about the Varus pick too, of course, is that it's also a flex pick. It's very mid playable, so we'll see what they're planning with that. That's what makes it such a decent first pick if you do have a mid laner that can also play it. So they're going with with that. The one weakness might have been a Tom Kench pick on the other side, and to be fair, XYZ could still flex a Tom Kench into there if they send Karma mid. Lots of flex picks going on, and we're seeing the
Hmm.
Ryze being picked for Kimchi Boys for some late game insurance, as well as the Olaf. So right now, this team is looking to really get a good pick on someone so far with their composition.
Yeah, also so much late game potential already coming in from Kimchi Boys. Even if you do get the Arcane Comet Lethality Varus, you still
Mhm.
have the Rise for that machine gun late game.
Yep, yep.
Just that constant damage over the course of a fight. Trundle coming in, not in particular answering anyone. XYZ just really like the pick here, and it definitely is just overall strong Trundle right now. It kind of doesn't. There's debates on what Trundle is really supposed to do and how he matches up against other junglers right now. Some people say he's got no bad matchups. Some people say you can take a Kindred or a Graves, and we do
Yeah.
already see the Graves banned out. So we'll
Mhm.
see what that jungle pick does. Almost certainly going into the jungle there with Captain Snarfles having
Yeah,
already played that pick.
exactly. And I don't know how many people are here LPL viewers, but Trundle is like a first pick in the
Yep,
LPL for very
they
much the
think
reason.
he's the
Yeah.
best by far.
Yeah, exactly. For very much the reason that there isn't a lot of counters. And yeah, like they already banned the Graves. Again, maybe they pick up the Kindred on the other side, but you already see the Olaf, which is not likely to flex to a different position.
Yep.
So it goes okay. Well, you don't have the best counter to Trundle, and really Trundle has no bad matchups after that. So I really think it's a smart pick by XYZ there to be able to put him in the jungle, and they're going to be
Hmm.
able to duel early and duel often if they really want to as they continue onto the ban phase, the second portion of the ban phase rather the AA Trox and Set being banned by XYZ, and Cassidon right now banned by Kimchi Boys.
Yeah, so the solo laner is now getting banned out in the second half. Lots of solo lane focus from both teams. Obviously, definitely with anytime you're banning against Kimchi Boys, there's a certain amount of you know uh requirement to ban out Yunbee, but it's so hard to do. He's just
Yeah.
we've seen so much, from Yunbee already. We've seen so much versatility, different champion styles, which is really key. And
Mhm.
you don't get to rank 16 in North America for nothing.
Yeah.
It's just so hard to ban this guy out. Kept definitely has his work cut out for him. But the
Mhm.
Vladimir coming in on the side of Kimchi Boys, targeting those flex picks. Here comes the Cassiopeia, and that is likely going into the mid lane,
Mhm.
seeing as we already have the Ezreal picked. So yeah, late game insurance as well coming in for XYZ.
Yeah, and I really like this pick for Kept. He's kind of a player that is pretty darn good at playing scaling mid laners. Cassiopeia being
Hmm.
one of his staple champions, and it's just a good pick for him. And I think that's a good answer for Yunbee. You don't have to try to fight early. You don't really want to try to fight early, whatever Yunbee picks. Well, actually, Yunbee probably on the Ryze, but so you're just looking to match that late game scaling, which Cassiopeia does fairly decently at, as long as obviously you're not crazy far behind. So I like to pick up quite a bit. Nautilus being picked by Kimchi Boys over on the other side gives them a lot of engage potential. Obviously, you just Nautilus R followed up by Varus R, and you just like can slap anyone.
Yeah, JUSTXNTIME has already played this, and oh, here comes the Sylas coming in now. Cozy Shroud almost certainly going to be taking that. Means the Ryze is likely going mid. Cassiopeia, though, nice pick into Ryze as well in terms of the laning phase. You generally outrange him in a lot of situations, and Ryze can be a little vulnerable in the early game, but obviously really great on following up with ganks from coming in from that Olaf. So I'd say the 2v2 is in favor of Kimchi Boys, but Ryze vulnerable to ganks here. A lot of damage can come in. Wukong will be the final red side pick. That's the answer to Sylas. Wukong's so strong right now, still kind of does everything. Assassin, bruiser, tank, crowd control, you know.
Yeah, it gives you engage, where that's what kind of the one thing that the team was lacking. They had plenty of peel, and obviously Karma can try to just ult and just make you go forward faster. But with actually having Wukong to be able to jump in there and use the ultimate to actually engage a fight, that was a really smart pick. Because if they picked something else that was more passive and that didn't give them any options to engage, I would have questioned their draft. But they complete it with the Wukong, and I like it quite a bit, especially with how organized of a team XYZ can be.
Yeah, this is a good, honest draft, Johnny. We're going to just see a nice, fair fight coming in. Just a nice, fair fight of League of Legends, a brawl coming in. Everybody, you know, nobody has any sort of crazy lane counter coming in. The closest you can imagine is that Cassiopeia into Ryze, but still totally doable by Ryze to survive that lane. So, yeah, we're just going to see some good, clean League of Legends, and everybody calm down. No flame here. We're all good. And, we're just going to go to a quick break while we take our competitive integrity delay, as well as let the teams get ready. Thanks for joining us. We'll be right back with Game 1 of Kimchi Boys versus XYZ. Okay, welcome back. We are on the rift for Game 1 of Kimchi Boys and XYZ, and we got to pause, but it is over already. Just a quick, just a quick bait there with that pause, and we are going to continue with this game. Just we're all good. We're all good. False alarm, everybody.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, it just kind of brought me back to when I used to do the compete leagues. Famously, the people that like helped put together the what's called the Tyler One Championship Series. So when I used to do it was nicknamed the Come Pause League because literally every game started with a pause. For like an entire split, and we're like, oh my god, what's wrong with this? So I just brought me back to that, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, there you go. Well, at least we got a nice little bit of nostalgia for you, if nothing else.
Yeah, but here we are. This is the Manitoba Esports League. Let's forget those other leagues. Who cares about those? This is one of the hypest matchups we might get all for the regular season, at the very least, until we start hitting playoffs. Two undefeated teams heading straight for each other, and again, like I mentioned in the draft, one team's got to lose today, and that'll be really excited to see who's going to be able to be the best of the best for now.
Yeah, and take their first loss, like you say. Both teams undefeated here. XYZ had a bye, and obviously hasn't played against Kimchi Boys yet, so very, very exciting match. And we did hear our analysts talk about the predictions for Kimchi Boys, just that solo queue dominance coming through there. Here's Cozy Shroud, actually, taking a bit of damage.
Shroud, just hang on the free damage just makes your level 1 really easy, so that'll be really nice for Lampost to have that little tiny bit of an advantage here.
Yeah. Anyway, that solo queue dominance we were talking about, Yunbee in particular is one of the people who is sort of manifesting that, and you know we've already seen though in this league that sometimes you can overcome some rank differentials, you can overcome some mechanical advantages if you have good team play, and I've already seen that from XYZ. I love how Captain Snarfles moves around the map and their rotations, so we're definitely going to see if they can make use of that to take down the monsters here.
Well, especially since the other half of it too is with this XYZ team, like a lot of them playing together in college and all that jazz. Like they maybe are only not as high of a rank because they just don't have the time to play that many games to get there. Like these guys are real freaking good if you've ever watched them play, and like they might as well be challenger players. They just don't have the challenger rank because again they just don't have the time to put in towards it. Maybe for whatever reason, these guys are good enough to match with them. Like if you were to just list a bunch of 1v1s, yeah, like we would just be like, okay, Kimchi Boys just win. But that's not what this tournament is. This is a team game, and so them putting together all the work they've put in together over the years, never mind just coming into this tournament for some of these players. So this is super hype for me. Like I really like. I know we have a kind of most of the analysts that's on the side of the Kimchi Boys, but I'm kind of favoring here right now for XYZ just because of the team synergy. I think just comes in more importantly, and I think they know Yunbee is their carry, right? And while other teams would know that too, other teams don't even have the skill to come close to being able to try to counter it. And I think XYZ with their synergy can put together a team to counter it. And yeah, we're just gonna have to see if they're able to pull it off.
Yeah, absolutely. We've already seen, a little bit of a CS lead come in, but it's in the mid lane, but it's actually it's totally even now. I was looking at the wrong wave, but yeah. Here's the first engage here. Snarfles actually
skirmish here. Captain Snarfles has made his way into the middle of the fight. 9-6 gonna have to use a splash, try to get away, but Snarfles will just splash right back onto him, and Yunbee now is gonna be the next target. He's exhausted. He's about to go down. Kept will pick up that kill, and it's a quick 2-0 lead for Team XYZ.
Yeah, not only... Oh, hang on a sec. Here's a nice trade. Not only was XYZ able to get, a really good advantage there, they are able to gift one of those kills away towards Kept. One of them was taken by navcast just because they were rushing it down, but then the second one on Yunbee, it was, Yunbee didn't have the positioning to flash away, and so they were able to just gift that to Kept, which is going to give him a huge advantage coming into this mid lane here. So really, really strong. We already talked about how Cassiopeia, can have the advantage over Ryze in this early game. Both of these, late game scaling champions, but Cassiopeia could be, the one to take it early lane, and that kill is going to just make that so much easier for Kept to do against, Yunbee, who looks like, the full-on star player of our entire league so far. So very, very impressive work there by XYZ.
And again, that was Captain Snarfles using that Trundle pick. Again, I said you can fight early basically anytime. Olaf is one that wants to farm. So really, you took a 2v2 in a situation where, of course, you're going to be much stronger than them. And it was really a smart play by XYZ to do that. And then they executed on top of that. So yeah, just good stuff is working for them. And again, that is that team synergy we were just talking about. That XYZ brings that X factor that you just don't get for just looking at these players, op.gg's. And yeah, let's see if they continue to snowball that and really put this game away. So it's only one kill. If you don't ever want to get too excited about a first blood.
Well, it is 2 kills, but yeah, absolutely. I was about to say the same thing. Kimchi Boys is not the type of team to, fold over and die after, two kills in the jungle early game. We do see, though, the lane priority is allowing XYZ to be able to work on this dragon. No contest available here, and so they will take that down. That's Captain Snarfles with the finish on that, and we'll travel back into his jungle. So a nice little, 400 gold lead coming in the early game.
Yeah, and a small boost. Obviously, the Infernal Drake isn't like a gigantic... It's almost non-consequential, to be honest, if you don't get your way to Dragon Soul, but... it's better than not having it, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. It's better than, the other team having it. That's the difference. And, it's not nothing. It is almost nothing, but it's not exactly nothing. And so definitely, those trades, we'll have to, keep an eye on that. And yeah, of course, working towards that Dragon Soul. We know it can't be the Infernal Soul right now. Neither of these teams would have been particularly excited about an Infernal Soul with their compositions coming in. Maybe the Varus, but yeah, definitely... good to have that early objective control, and we will see. I think definitely Rift Herald is going to be the more consequential objective in this early game. I really think that getting map control for these two teams, especially with a jungler like the Trundle, two honest junglers like we said who can be tracked fairly easily. If you get that early Rift Herald, start to get some map control with those towers, then you can make much better use of those kind of duelist junglers.
Yeah, and one thing to note that I just kind of noticed, we haven't mentioned, it is the lethality Varus coming through for IM owner. So that does put a lot of pressure on Yunbee to be that source of all that damage. So again, and you're used to seeing that with that team, so you're not uncomfortable with thinking that you're going to get that. But that poke damage is pretty mean. If you get that on Cassiopeia before the fight starts, you're like, oh, okay, that's a rough situation. So keep track on how much damage I Am Owner does before fights even begin. That'll be the important part.
Yeah, absolutely. No surprise, honestly, for this lethality build, looking at the team composition coming out for XYZ. Oh, there's the Cozy Shroud going in there.
Yeah, taking quite a bit of damage from Girthy Lampost there. Those two clones doing tons of damage here. Meanwhile, we do get just in time, getting a little bit of a hook there, but it is just answered nicely, and it ends up being kind of just a bit of a trade. Ellie using his ultimate there to clear the wave as well.
Yeah, nice poke coming in. I was going to say, you know, no surprise with I Am Owner taking the lethality Varus as not a particularly tanky team coming in on the side of XYZ. You know, they are definitely going for, they've got all these carries. They've got the Ezreal, Wukong, and Cassiopeia. Even Trundle, not particularly tanky, especially because he doesn't have a lot of stats to steal again on the other side. There's no big tank really on either team, so I think lethality Varus makes a lot of sense here.
And Varus, if you don't have like a tank for yourself too, like there's not a lot of free hitting time you're going to be able to get on this champion against this team.
Yeah, they're jumping on you.
Yeah, you're really, like I said, you're looking to get all your damage in basically before the fight even starts.
And like you said, you know, we've got Yunbee for late game insurance, and so what the bot lane of Kimchi Boys needs to do is win lane, you know, to get that advantage, get that priority in lane, and this lethality Varus is designed to do exactly that.
Yeah, it's a good champion and a good way to again use that versatility that I mentioned it being the first pickable, right? So we see Kept over here putting on some damage onto Yunbee as you're trying and getting to the tower here. Small CS lead right now for Yunbee, but of course that kill coming for Kept 1 is kind of keeping that in check.
Yeah, you already see Yunbee very cautious around Kept right now. He knows exactly the power of that Cassiopeia with a kill, and you know, actually do have a little bit of an advantage with items now coming in from the Ryze, and we'll see if Kept can manage to get a good wave state. You know, now even with the extra gold, Cassiopeia is at a disadvantage now that Ryze has completed that catalyst. So we're gonna see if Kept is gonna recall, is gonna be able to get that wave pushed in. So we'll see what the item discrepancy is once he goes back. There you go, Lost Chapter coming in. So definitely the damage advantage going over to Kept right now. And Yunbee is going to have to continue playing scared, as it were.
Pretty much playing safely, let's call it. I don't know if Yunbee's scared of anyone.
Fair enough.
So there we go. There are onto this Rift Kelly mentioned as probably being the more important objective for the early game here. So that's a pretty big win right now for Kimchi Boys right now as they grab that one. We'll see where they end up using it. Dragon is spawning again, but it is well before that Rift Herald was taken, so they can possibly answer this if they want to, but they don't necessarily have to risk too much because they don't currently have the vision.
Yeah, and 961 coming in with the Olaf definitely would be able to solo out the Trundle in a straight fair 1v1 here with the Warrior Enchantment finished. But you know, the rotation's relatively easy for a lot of the members here, as Kept going in with the flank. No, coming in. I was looking at the wrong sides, Johnny. Don't worry about it. But Kept coming in. Exactly. And doing some damage there.
They do have that vision now. While you were speaking there, they were able to establish some on it, so they do have the ability to kind of focus their attention onto it if they really want to, as the dragon has just spawned. And we are seeing like basically all members except for the top laners are able to get to this dragon at any point right now. But right now, neither team deciding to do anything about it. You do see some lane priority mid for XYZ, while it is basically even. You get some priority for the bot lane for them as well. So that might mean they can start pushing their way over towards it, or at the very least, just really try to choke out some of this vision. But Captain Snarfles himself is going to be able to take out this vision, as they're basically playing a war of vision onto this dragon.
Yeah, and you know, you'd think that XYZ would have the advantage here, but yeah, like you say, seeming kind of cautious around this objective, and definitely, you know, knowing the power of that early game Olaf, who has wandered over to this area of the map. But that Scuttle Crab's such a valuable objective. I just think it's so important to take. I think like it's sometimes even I would say it's generally worth much more than, you know, its weight in farm and how much experience and gold you get. And sometimes junglers go for a camp when they should be taking Scuttle Crab. I think there's almost no situation where you shouldn't take Scuttle Crab if you're near it. Laners or junglers alike, if you can take it, you know, and not waste that much time. And so you saw already Kimchi Boy's not even able to really go into that area of the river until now when it's done. Now here's the engage.
Yunbee skillfully dodges the ult from Kep for this one, but Captain Snarfles is right here. We're getting some damage, but here comes 9-6 to answer. I'm Owner with the flash ultimate. It's gonna pick that one up and take down Kep. We talked about how it's gonna be Yunbee to the carry, but I am Owner taking ownership of himself of that kill.
Yeah, what a beautiful roam there by I Am Owner coming in, and they were able to blow the flash from Kept as well as get the kill. So nicely done there by I Am Owner and JUSTXNTIME with that roam. And now they're going to be able to use the Rift Herald mid. They're going to be able to get dragon control. This is just a beautiful answer here coming in from Kimchi Boys.
Yeah, definitely able to make that one happen there. And using this gets it pretty well. They get the damage they needed. They got the plates out of that one, and they'll probably finish this tower.
Yeah, they're going for it.
Shortly. There we go. They got their first turret there.
The director was not our friend in that situation.
Yeah. Like, I need to see what the hell. I'm pretty sure it's almost dead, but yeah, it died. And they were able to get that, and now you're starting to see just some good work from the solo players, right? Just people, like, not necessarily solo lane, but I Am Owner making that flash by himself. Yeah. That was like, those are some of those differences that just like being high caliber player does get you. Just a big hyphy play like that one. I don't think Kept was expecting it. And to be fair, the ult, being able to buffer the ult and then flashing in with Varus is pretty strong. So just gets that down, able to pick up a tower, and that's a nice little thing to give them now a nice gold lead for Kimchi Boys.
Yeah, now a little reset happening here. They thought of doing the dragon. You saw them sort of path towards it, but then thought better of it as the rest of XYZ kind of had shown up at that point. And we'll see, that is an Ocean Drake, so we've been denied the Infernal Soul as well as the Ocean Soul for this game. We'll see which Summoner's Rift will appear after this one is taken. And now you do see both junglers pathing towards the top side. And you know, both of these top laners are able to snowball and able to, you know, make such a huge impact on team fights. We haven't talked much about the Sylas and kind of which ultimates are available for him there, but, you know, you've, of course, Wukong with, you know, an insane ultimate, one of the best in the entire game. But, of course, Cassiopeia and Ezreal, no slouches either. I'm interested to see how his ultimate would interact with Karma's ultimate. I'm not exactly sure. Do you get her abilities? That's often the way it works. It's the way it works, for instance, with Shyvana. But
right.
I'm not exactly sure how that interacts. We'll have to get the analysts in chat to, or you know, our actual analysts to remind us of that. But you know, definitely if the Sylas gets rolling. Very scary in team fights, and of course what more needs to be said about Wukong than may already be said here in this engage.
Yeah, nice little trade happening from both top laners here. Now having to go using the Wukong ultimate against Girthy Post, but he can use his ultimate for himself and then try to get out of there. Nice little trade here as Captain Snarfles has made his way here. Cozy Shroud will just back off since that would be a troubling situation for him to be in. Try to go for the 2v1 here. So yeah, nice little action from the top lane. Meanwhile, we're seeing Yunbee trying to make a play over here towards the bot lane, but Ezreal is a real safe champion. He'll just back off, but they will get the turret for it, and they can get 4 members here to get that, and they're kind of out-rotating right now. Team XYZ. Meanwhile, big damage coming down. You're rooted for about a year, Kept. Yumbee's going to be able to take them down and equal up that kill now, and they're going to continue pushing on to the bot lane as they're trying to get away, but JUSTXNTIME is going to use his ultimate and then stopwatch to make sure he doesn't go down, so Yunbee can pick up another kill. Navcast now just trying to get away, taking in some damage. He'll get out, but 2 big kills and a tower go over to Team XYZ. Or sorry, Kimchi Boys. Oh, I blew it!
I was about to say XYZ really wisely backing off, you know, giving up that turret when they saw the dragon go down, knew Olaf was in the area, but then kept just going for the hero play, comes up way too far into turret range, and is punished once again by the Varus ultimate, this time on Varus' own turf in the bot lane. They're able to string that into a bunch more kills as while XYZ was trying to help out their heroic snake in the mid lane, you know, engage on that. They just stepped too far up, and Kimchi Boys is going to take advantage of that. You cannot make those mistakes against a team like Kimchi Boys, especially, you know, when you've got Yunbee also coming into the bot lane. It was a nice job. I really liked the play there. Here's Owner getting caught.
That's got him into a bit of a trouble here. That tower is able to stop him now. Kept will pick up another kill, so we might end up seeing like which mid laner is going to be able to carry this game, as they both have plenty of gold on themselves. So Yeah, obviously it was like the matchup to watch for, and keep watching it because that could come down to which mid laner plays a team fight better later.
Yeah, for sure. Both, as we said, scale almost infinitely into the late game. Now we are seeing the Herald started, but this looks like Kimchi Boys might want to contest. Cozy Shroud now has stolen the Trundle ultimate.
The main fight over into the middle. 96 has jumped in the middle of it. LE will pick up the first kill over onto just in time. Girthy Lampost will follow up with another one. So 2 nice kills right now go over for XYZ. Let's see if they're going to re-engage. It will Yunbee and Cozy Shroud try to do it. They're going to try to jump on top of the Cat, but he's going to be able to get out of there. Cozy Shroud will pick up a kill onto navcast. In the meanwhile, Cat is going to go down pretty low and avoid another hit from Cozy Shroud there. Flash is coming through from Snarfles is just trying to get away. Cozy Shroud is trying to chase them all down. Yunbee is coming in here with the ultimate with I Am Owner. He's going to pick up 1. Yumbee's going to look for 2. He does get it. That's a double kill now, and 3 members down for XYZ, and Kimchi Boys will look over to this top turret.
Man, this guy is good on Ryze. That is insane. You gotta watch that. Oh, hang on. Here's the dive again.
You get Cozy Shroud. He's gonna be able to pick up that kill. Girthy Lampost is just trying to get out of the situation. Now he will not, as I'm Owner will pick up another kill for himself, despite the fact that Yunbee goes down in the end. But yeah, 4 for 1, 4 for 2. I think someone else died earlier in the fight. I've respawned by now, but yeah, just a very, very good play and really, really nice work by the Kimchi Boys.
2 quick fights to analyze there. The first one coming in, you saw Yunbee. If we watch that fight back, I would love to see how many Qs and how many spells Ryze got off in that fight, because he really looked already like late game Ryze. So much damage going on in a disadvantageous numbers situation there for Kimchi Boys. Still, Yunbee able to just constantly apply that damage. Then with the ultimate, just, you know, I Am Owner, as soon as he returned from base after dying in mid lane, was able to get into that Ryze ultimate and teleport right to where they needed to be. Just pristine Ryze play there coming in from Yunbee. And then they were able to, of course, get the dive. Girthy Lampost staying a little bit too long, but did manage to get actually the shot down onto Yunbee, so a little bit of gold there coming in will complete the Blade of the Ruined King. So yeah, huge advantages gained though for Kimchi Boys in general, and did manage to secure the Rift Herald as well. Once again, 961 takes that, so more map control going to be able to be gained off the back of that fight.
Yeah, exactly. Just being able to get all those turrets down and being able to get into deeper vision, you know, they're committing some of it just to have a lot of control over that Baron. It's still pretty far ways for either team to get Soul. So right now they are choosing to commit most of their wards over towards the top lane here, or the top side of the map here. And yeah, they'll be able to track kind of what XYZ are doing and what they're kind of up to. Dragon is spawning here, so we're going to see who takes his first Cloud Drake. A big advantage right now for this team, but they have a lot of closing speed. Does XYZ? We might see a fight break out here. Dragon and now down to 1300 health. They will finally secure it and now try to get out. So they're just a little bit too late to get the Dragon, but they still can get some exit frags here, essentially. Girthy Lampost jumping in with his ultimate now, trying to get on for some time. LE will take him down. Trying to get into the rest of the members here. That tower does go up, but they'll just use that to disengage and be happy with getting 1 kill there. So yeah, they get the Dragon there for only 1 support going down. You'll take those.
Yeah, you almost wanted to see the commitment there from XYZ. They were cornered, was Kimchi Boys at the tower, but Yunbee applying so much pressure still on this top lane that they just weren't able to, you know, they weren't able to take advantage of that. I think it might have even been worth it to lose that tower, because they did lose it anyway, of course, and to go for that tower dive, but it's so hard to make those decisions right in the middle of the game like that. But still, nice catch, follow up on the Dragon. Like you say, so much speed available for XYZ. And speaking of speed, will Girthy Lampost be able to get out of this one? Cozy Shroud. Oh, goes back in.
He does try to get out of here, going for the reverse because Yunbee was coming over the other side, but there's a lot of people in your way, and you know, the tower of the enemy team. So Girthy Lampost does use his splash to try to get through here. You get to see the Ragnarok come through for 9-6. He's just trying to jump on top of him, tries to fake him out by standing still and pretending to be a clone, I think, but that doesn't work as well anymore, to be honest. But
hang on, Kimchi Boys don't know. They don't know about this. They're not rotating. So they used that distraction up in the top lane. Lots of members went down, but yet now they're aware, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to contest this.
Yeah, looks like they're able to get that one huge Baron take here, but the fight is not over. Just in time trying to jump in here and get something going in here. He will probably go down. Cozy Shroud actually will be the first to go down. Just in time actually lives through all of that, so they're able to pick up 1 kill, 2 of them down. So only 2 members
Barons,
actually have the Baron buff. So while you'll be pretty happy of just taking that, it did not come for free. Meanwhile, that Rift Herald still hasn't been used there. The second one anyways. They're going to use it on the second tier mid turret and get quite a bit of damage onto this one and likely be able to finish it off. They will. They get that now and maybe even some bonus damage on this second turret here.
No.
Nope, never mind, they won't get that. But yeah, it's still kind of an overall win for the Kimchi Boys.
Yeah, definitely, but I love that idea to go for the Baron steal. Here's the fight. Actually, Girthy Lampost, lots of damage.
Yeah, exactly. He's actually pretty relatively tanky here. He's trying to stall for his team to get over here, but 9-6 will pick up the kill on him as he picks the correct target and does not fall for the clone. So they'll just kind of get a free kill out of that one as the team was not able to come in there. And yeah, right now we're seeing a lot of really good plays put together by the Kimchi Boys in terms of their map rotation, in terms of their team play. We talked a lot, of course, about the synergy of Team XYZ, and I don't mean to think to call the Kimchi Boys just a bunch of like zero brain challenger players. Like they know what they're doing. They know how to play the game too together as a team. And they're showing that today. It's like, hey, we have both the solo queue talent and the coordination, and it's coming through in spades in this game. Meanwhile, navcast has made his way over on top of Yunbee, but he might stay for his life. There is 3 members of his team here, so they're going to be able to follow up and actually help him out. It will be a nice kill put together, so it ended up being a pretty good engage to be able to pick up that kill and get that shutdown bonus.
Yeah, really nice rotation there coming in from XYZ. I want to go back to that Baron play because I love a Baron sneak, Johnny. You're going to learn this about me. Whenever I see a Baron sneak, I get hyped. And that was the perfect time to do it, actually. While they did, like you say, while Kimchi Boys did manage to still make an advantage out of it, it's the perfect time to sneak Baron when you've got you've got a little bit of a disadvantage, a little bit of a gold discrepancy, and the other team feels like it's more, you know what I mean? Like they feel they've got more map control than they already do. That's the perfect time to sneak that Baron. And exactly when Girthy Lampost was collapsed upon, I wouldn't even be surprised if that was purposefully Girthy Lampost overextending just to buy enough time so that they could do that. Like it was so well timed that it could have been a set play. We might have to talk to them about that afterward, but still, you know, advantages for Kimchi Boys. A nice shutdown there on Yunbee as well coming in, and that kill did go down onto LE, who, you know, Ezreal really good in the late game as well, especially against a team like this where your poke really is meaningful against not as tanky members and nobody to really block free besides the Nautilus. So good to see kills coming in onto LE. Obviously a bunch of Executioner's callings completed there on the side of XYZ, and we did see the second Cloud Dragon go towards, or the first Cloud Dragon go towards Kimchi Boys. So Cloud Soul on the plate for them within the next 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. So they could potentially want to put some priorities to prevent this, or you can kind of afford to give it up because you know that XYZ is kind of pretty far away from getting the soul themselves. They'll just even up the dragons, which would basically mean nothing almost in the long run. But they are here and potentially ready to fight. You do see that Yunbee is pushing over the top lane and potentially get a turret, and that's probably more valuable, to be completely honest with you, than that dragon. He's working on the inhibitor now himself. I don't know if he'll be able to get down the inhibitor. He might be able to 1v1 Girthy Lampost here. Let's see what happens. They start the fight. Girthy Lampost just jump onto him, takes quite a bit of damage, and will kind of just back off. So he's not quite forced Yunbee off of this inhibitor yet. And it looks like he's going to be able to take it down. And honestly, if you're... Oh, one auto. Oh, he does it. He doesn't quite get it. He's not going to be able to get that one. And now they've to collapse on top of him. Yunbee now just trying to run away. Snarfles going to put the tower in front of him. He's trying to flash forward, which is a bit of an awkward one, but he will go down. And now they're
tried to flash back into his ultimate there, but just got killed right before. It would have been really, really sick if he had been able to do it. But now the chase coming in with the Ryze down.
The re-engage, and here's what I was talking about: Girthy Lampost on that champion being able to get a good engage on top of just in time. You're the tankiest boy on that team, but you will be taken down. But another turret's being taken over on the other side. So again, even when you get something out of the Kimchi Boys, they're doing such a great job rotating around the map.
Yeah, kind of tragic there for Yunbee that he didn't manage to finish off that top inhibitor, and that is definitely going to be a boon on the side of XYZ. Nice catch on him, and like you said, you know, definitely could have gone for the 1v1 against Lampost, but actually really nice play by Girthy Lampost to go in like that, because it makes Yunbee think, I mean, Yunbee knows that Girthy Lampost knows he can't solo the Ryze, but if that means if he goes in, then it looks like there's more following, and while XYZ wasn't showing on the map everywhere at that particular moment, that was just enough to dissuade, to make the Ryze run back. You saw him run back just for a little bit because he thought there were more teammates on the way and it was going to get caught out again. So I actually really like that play. It's a bit of a, you know, nitpicky thing, but I love that play from Girthy Lampost to go aggressive that way.
And it's kind of like a split decision of like Yunbee thinking, okay, can I get out here with my life or should I in for this tower? He decides to try to get out for this life, and it ends up being one auto away from being able to take the tower. And then he still ended up dying in the long run and blowing his flash. So again, overall, I think it is a positive play for Yunbee. It's just like, man, that one auto feels bad.
It just sucks. You just hate to see it. That's all. Yeah. I love how that sort of entered our lexicon. You know, it's such a like, you know, maybe video game or internet specific thing, like the you hate to see it.
Called a meme.
You hate to see it. It's like there's nothing. There's no other real way. Call it a meme. Okay, fine. I'll use the terminology you've all given me, but it really is. You know, like it describes so perfectly that exact situation where no other saying we really have could do it quite as well. Now we see a little engage. Here's just in time, maybe getting caught out.
Yeah, a little bit of trouble here, but he'll just flash to get rid of that. But you do blow the flash out of the support. That is a big engage option for them. So you'll definitely take that if you're on the side of XYZ while they start to position over onto this Baron. But again, when they're starting to do something, Yunbee is split pushing, and he's looking at that top turret now. He's helping over there. A fight does break loose in the middle as Girthy Lampost does use his ultimate to make Cozy Shroud use that stopwatch, but he will eventually be taken down. Yunbee has taken over an inhibitor here though as well. So even though this fight's going on, it is looking positive right now for XYZ as a double kill is now picked up by LE. They're losing their base this whole time. Yunbee is destroying the base. They have to back, and it's so hard for them to back up with players on Kimchi Boys right in front of them, and he's gonna pick up two. They're
gonna lose both
Nexus turrets. He picks up two Nexus turrets and an inhibitor. He's just gonna run out of here now unharmed. You got a third kill over to LE, but what does it matter? Snarfles now has finally made his way over here onto Yunbee. Navcast is right here too, trying to answer them. But look how much damage Yunbee puts out. He's gonna pick up that shutdown right there. He might go down here, but he might take two people with him. He takes one, but again, he destroyed most of their base.
That is ridiculous damage coming out from Yunbee, and yeah, beautiful play by him. XYZ in such a tough spot there because you want to go for that engage, and they're like, okay, well, we have to commit, we have to get these kills, you know, get our carries, you know, with the to the items. But you see Ryze just completely obliterate the base. Not only that, almost able to like 1v4 there. You saw how much damage coming in from this late game Ryze. You've already seen the Morellonomicon, the Void Staff finished, and the both the mana items as well. So yeah, unbelievable damage, and Yunbee is just popping off right now.
You know, I've been playing a lot of Legends of Runeterra lately, and it's just like, this is like an aggro deck that even though, like, yeah, you have the board state over there with the battle going in the middle, you had a better board state there. But know what? Yunbee is doing damage to face, and it's just like, oh, even though we had this fight and it was going well, you got 3 kills on LE, and that's like, those are all good things. But look at your base.
I used to play. I used to play Face Hunter and Zoo in Hearthstone, and so yeah, I know what you're talking about. With the Cloud Drake now going down though, and yeah, we will see, because now the inhibitor is down and the base is completely exposed. Ryze can just, you know, ult in there and potentially go for just ending the game. No wards were placed. A key thing in that situation, Yunbee didn't have a control ward in his inventory, or didn't have the wherewithal to put it down. But since it's Yunbee, I'm going to assume he didn't have one. And so they aren't able to teleport to the Nexus at this point, but they are able to use the Ryze ult to get in there. Now the Baron going to be started up here by Kimchi Boys. No contest available at all.
And you can't. What can you possibly do here besides?
If one person shows, you're looking at a Ryze ult into base.
Yeah, exactly. You can't even do any of that. So that's basically a free Baron. Well, I actually dislike the term free because they did a lot of work before this to be able to get that,
was an investment
feeling
for the
free.
Baron.
Yeah, it was definitely a long-term investment for them to get this Baron, and now they're pushing in and potentially closing out this game.
Yeah, we'll see. The threat of, you know, having no turrets, just being able to walk up and literally hit the Nexus when normally you'd have that insurance of the turrets is really, really scary. XYZ has to play this perfectly, and they have to kill Yunbee. They have to kill him. There's no more going to kill all the rest of the 4 and leaving Yunbee to push a little bit more. You can't do that anymore because he's going to win. He's going to lose you the game. You're going to lose the game to him.
Yeah, and this is what Yunbee's known for. Like, no disrespect to the rest of the team, but this is just his role on the team is to look like this hard carry. And of course, the rest of the team is doing great work. They really, really are to enable Yunbee to do his thing. And it's just so impressive to watch, and it's incredible as he just continues to just like. I don't want to say 1v9. But he's doing a lot of work.
Yeah, and XYZ isn't doing anything particularly wrong. Here's the engage.
Yeah, they're trying to jump over here onto the backline, trying to get something going on here, but they got the stopwatches going. They're going to use 2 of them, in fact, to live for as long as possible. Meanwhile, though, Ryze is still pushing in the top lane. Every time you think something is going good for XYZ, Yunbee is doing something else on the map that's punishing you, and they're able to get another turret down here over into the mid lane, looking at that inhibitor now, too, in that mid lane. So, yeah, you pick up a couple kills, but you just keep taking more and more damage.
Yeah, how many more objectives and structures does XYZ have to trade for these, you know, little kills they're getting? Like, they get a couple of kills, which is great, you know, and they at least, you know, don't lose the Nexus, but yeah, they lost another mid turret, and even though they only sent 2 there, Lampost and Snarfles were the only ones who went, still it was not enough to defend. The remaining members of XYZ were not enough to defend against, you know, the sheer might of Yunbee right now. It is absolutely, you know, devastating for them. So really nice play there coming in by Kimchi Boys. But yeah, a good catch for XYZ, but they need a full-on engage, and I just don't know if Kimchi Boys is going to give it to them. It would be a mistake for Kimchi Boys that would have to let XYZ back into this game.
The one thing I said in Champion Select that really Girthy Lampost with the Wukong pick did complete their composition, giving them an engage option. The other half of that, though, however, is that is your one engage option. And if he's doing something to engage someone else on the outside of the map, everyone else can do whatever they want for free because no one else can engage on them. And right now, no one besides Girthy Lampost could actually at least start a fight onto Yunbee, and Yunbee is using his map knowledge to always be where Girthy Lampost isn't. They basically met that one time in the top lane for like 2 seconds, right? And otherwise, the entire game has been Yunbee just playing around where Lampost is and going, hey, I can just do stuff without being engaged on like for free. So it's pretty huge. This game isn't over yet. The inhibitors have respawned, so they have a chance here to kind of reset a little bit here and kind of basically reset where they're at on the map and start doing things so they don't have to worry about minions just coming into their base winning the game for them. But again, you do still have to worry about Yunbee at any point just going back there and destroying everything.
Yeah, no inhibitors down, so no super minions on the map right now, but I gotta say XYZ are kicking themselves right now for not focusing more on dragons, because what could really help them, actually we see the engage here, Yunbee getting away. What could really help and what could really shore this up for XYZ is the Cloud Soul. If they were able to get that out of combat movement speed, they could be so much more effective at defending against Yunbee when he's pushing. After getting that pick, you know, Cloud Soul would save this game for XYZ, but it just, how can they even now get into the pit? Dragon's going to spawn. XYZ, as far as I'm concerned, need to contest it because it's looking more and more like a bit of a win condition for them.
Yeah, exactly. They can potentially go for it, but right now you're seeing Yunbee would be there to cut anyone off going straight for them. They do see that Girthy Lampost is in the top lane. That just affords your ability to just own that bottom side of the jungle, and they'll just do exactly that. They'll get this Cloud Drake, they'll get the Cloud Soul, and now they can kind of just go wherever they want. And this team's pretty darn scary with their ultimates to get that Cloud Soul as well. So
Cloud Soul on Olaf, like
yeah, it seems pretty good. And you know, like Cody Shroud just uses anyone's ultimate. And
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So definitely, a really, really tough situation now for XYZ. Because, you know, as much as it would have benefited them to stop Yunbee, it benefits Yunbee because he's going to just, you know, even without the ultimate empowerment, he still gets the out-of-combat movement speed, and it's just going to be so ridiculous to defend against that split push. So yeah, we do see a little bit of a reset, as you say. Both inhibitors now respawned, and just a little bit of a calming effect. And Yunbee might get caught here.
Yeah, he's in a little bit of trouble. This time does the flashback into his ult properly, so he's able to get out and escape with his life. So That's one of those plays that I'm pretty sure he was just doing it just to show that he can.
Just swag. Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he could have just not been in that deep and in that much trouble. And I think if he felt like he was in more trouble in this game, he wouldn't. But instead, he's just like, nah, I could just do this play to get out. So don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's something he's, you know, he's so familiar with it. You saw him almost execute it amidst huge adversity there in the top lane when he tried it before, and just a little bit too much damage coming in. But yeah, it is a Ryze play that you can really use to escape situations like that in a lot of cases. And
he just timed it wrong
you know,
time,
it's sort of like second nature to him. It's like, okay, well, I'm caught out, so I just do this play, and then that's it.
There we go, Captain Snarfles now jumping into the middle, trying to get a fight on, but he will just get melted. I Am Owner gets the kill on that one. LE will trade it back, so that's support for jungler, but that doesn't mean you don't have a jungler for this Baron or for whatever they feel like doing. They're just going to teleport to your base like, we don't need this Baron. Don't worry about it. You came engaged in the middle of the map. Are you insane? We're just going to take your base. This will be a game 1 win right now for Kimchi Boys, as they just did it.